Thanks for joining us at Right On Replicas, where we're proud to bring you the best scale model kit reviews on the planet. This review is brought to you in part by Rogers Hobby Center in Saginaw, Michigan, where the fun begins. This review covers the Little Red Baron kit number 6650 from Atlantis Models. Now it's a 1/32 scale snap kit. It has 28 pieces molded in black, red, and silver. This is a caricature type kit and it was designed by Tom Daniel. It dates back to the 70s, but thanks to Atlantis, it's been re-released in 2019 for us to enjoy. It's got a lot of great looking appointments, including that massive helmet that's used for a roof, and the big fatties on the back, and an airplane engine for power. You can build the kit right out of the box, but I decided to use some paint to give it a little more realism. I sprayed the body a metallic red color and flat black on all the black parts. I chromed the helmet with some chrome paint and the fuel tank as well, and aluminum on the guns and the engine. I also gave the headers a little heated up look with some yellow, blue, and purple pigments. When you're finished, the kit will be about 4 inches long, 4 1/4 inches high, and 3 1/4 inches wide. Oh, hey, that's Newt, my new program director. Hi, Newt. Come on in here. What's your question?
That is pretty cool. It's not like the other models you've reviewed.
Well, that's true, but because this is a caricature model, meaning that it's a cartoon-like representation. And nowadays you can see them in the Egg Series kits, but Tom Daniel was way ahead of his time with the Little Red Baron.
But what's with the big chrome helmet?
Well, back in the 70s, a lot of biker gangs took a fancy to wearing German helmets from World Wars I and II. They even had them chrome-plated. So Tom Daniel used the idea to make the roof for his Little Red Baron kit. Well, here's my version of the open box review, and you can see there's only 3 sprue trees here. There's a few parts, but it depends on how you use them. Now we're going to be using standard model liquid cement, sometimes tube glue, but for the most part this is a pretty simple to assemble kit. But still, watch all of the safety guidelines for any of the parts or products that you see in the review. We'll begin construction with these pieces, but remember, you don't need to use glue, but sometimes it helps close the gaps and secure the pieces, so we'll be using a little bit just to make sure. Also, it will pay to clean up any parting lines or sprue marks if you want a really nice looking model when you're done. So construction starts with step 1, as you can see in this exploded diagram. And so the first thing to do is grab the gas tanks halves and snap those together. And once again, if you see a gap in any of the pieces, don't be afraid to use a little super glue there to close that gap. Now assemble the wheels to the tires. Those are parts 3, 4, and 15, and you're going to need to trim any of the sprue or flash off that you see on the kit. And then finally, gently press each tire and wheel combo onto the rear axle. And now simply press the entire wheel and axle assembly into the body there. The springs slide into the slots on the body. And there's a locating tab that goes into the bottom of the body pan, and there are studs that lock that tires into the body too. Also, same with the gas tank. Well, it may be a simplified version, but it's pretty sturdy, and these kits were made for little hands, so grab the drive shaft part number 5 next. Now press the drive shaft into the hole, receiving hole there just behind the fake transmission, and into the rear end. Next, we'll assemble the engine and the radiator parts, so grab these pieces. You see the diagram here, and then we'll go ahead and stage those to make sure that they're cleaned up before assembly. So, click the engine halves together, that's part 6 and 7, and then add the air cleaner and the header. Now put the radiator, that's part 8, into the grill, and then put the assembly of the engine into the frame. It just snaps in, and the radiator to the front of the frame, and the drag link, number 28, to the body and the suspension. Locate these parts from the kit, the front tires and wheels, the cowl and the machine gun assembly there. And we're going to, just like the rear wheels, insert the wheels into the tires and then press them onto the front axle. And there are left and rights on the wheels that are denoted by a D-shaped hole on one side and a square hole for the other. Now, after that, put the cowl, that's part number 2, through the holes on the firewall, that's part 22, and then press them into the body. Next, we'll work on the interior and the roof. So go ahead and grab these parts, including that big Maltese cross. So here you see an exploded view. And first put the steering wheel and the shifter into the interior panel and slide this into the body. Make sure that the angle of the front is under the cowl and then locked into the rear. Then add the spike to the helmet and the helmet to the body. Now finally, we slide the rear tires into the slots of the base, and then your model is finished. Well, there you have it. Now this kit doesn't really have any fit problems or excessive flash. There's some sprue attachment points to trim off, but by golly, if this doesn't take you back to the 70s, I don't know what will. It was a simpler time, and models were plentiful, and kids could build them on their own. But anyway, they're out again, and if you want one, thank Atlantis, and if I were you, I'd buy one and put it on my shelf. Well, we hope you liked this scale model kit review, and if you don't want to miss any more, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and you can do that by clicking on the icon in the lower right hand of any of our reviews. You can find us on Facebook too, or at our website, rightonreplicas.com. Thanks!